I believe that like teaching is not done by shaming. And I agree with a lot of things that you post all the time about cancel culture and the way that we dismiss people and shame people rather than educate people, and allowing room for people to grow and allowing people to come through things. Like when I was 24, 25, my ex big love started dating a trans guy after me, and the things that I said, the jokes that I made, because I was so ashamed of myself and so uneducated about what that meant. Like if that stuff were to like and it's not at all because I'm transphobic, it's because I wasn't aware and I didn't know what I was dealing with, and in myself or in him.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that I believe that education is best done without shame.
And context. I think context is really important.
Hey guys, it is Tristan with Nerdette's NewsStand, and I got a comment earlier asking me if I wanted to cover this interview. Now, I want to give a huge thank you to Ken. I didn't even know that this existed. I had no idea that Jameela Jamil, and I apologize if I'm saying that wrong, had interviewed Wright, talked, about different things pertaining to himself, of course, but it all brings us back full circle to the issue with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Now, I was able to listen to this. It was about an hour, a little bit over an hour long, and I learned a lot, right? I didn't know a lot of these things about Wright. I had no idea he was a child actor, and there's a few things. I like looking into somebody. I like learning more about somebody if I'm going to, talk about them in either a negative or positive light. Mostly it's going to be negative, but as far as Jameela goes, when I was on Twitter long ago, her and I had some very public disagreements. I am not a fan, and I apologize if you are, but the woman is only a feminist and activist when it benefits her. Now, does her Iweigh podcast and, its actual Instagram, have a lot of positivity within it? Sure. But I don't also, kind of listen to that intersectionality. I think it's silly. She literally has slides talking about intersectional feminists. Like, if you're a girl, you get one, a press point. If you're a girl and you're gay, you get 2, a press point. If you're a girl and you're gay and you're black, you get 3. Now let's tally it all up. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, why do we have to go through our lives acting like we're victims because we're female or, bisexual or gay or trans? We don't. We can pull each other up by our, pull ourselves up by our bootstrap, move on, and go about our life in a very civil way. But some people don't, talk about that. So, what I want to talk about, though, specifically is some of the things that Io says. But I want to remind you that, Wright is a trans activist. He is trans. But being trans does not make it okay to be a terrible person. And it is absolutely not transphobic to call out his bad behavior, which he's, already saying that these people are transphobic, right? So both Io, obviously, and Amber hide behind still currently their sexualities, their genders, and it is in no way, shape, or form transphobic or misogynistic to call behavior, bad behavior, manipulative behavior, terrible garbage human beings what they are. Jamel is literally supporting, Io, who is an abusive person, a manipulative person. He attacked Rocky Pennington. She's supporting abuse by Io's affiliation. And really, just at the end of the day, supporting these two opportunistic scum. So, in order to move forward in our society, maybe at some point, you need to hold some bad behavior accountable. These people have broken the law. They've canceled people. They're garbage. But then again, and I've said it before in videos, birds of a feather, right? Jameela has done the exact same thing. But tell it right, literally took a 16-year-old girl with no parental permission, manipulated, then falsely represented a 16-year-old girl. And I am talking about Lily Rose Depp, in case you didn't realize that. He published something very personal about her at 16 years old about her sexuality because he benefited, because her father was Johnny Depp. He benefited. He didn't get permission. He is a garbage human being. Not to mention what he did, obviously, to Johnny Depp and his career with the refinery article, right? Why I called 911. Okay, sure. Because you were in love with Amber Heard and really wanted to do anything to, help her. So they do obviously talk about a lot. And I'm not going to go over all of that. What I want to talk about is a specific portion of this dedicated to the cancel culture aspect, right? I am 100% against all forms of deplatforming, against all forms of cancel culture, no matter your age, sex, gender, it doesn't matter. I can dislike you all equally. I'm totally kidding, but I do think in the same sentence, education always works better than shame. And they kind of mention that, right? I talked about this when it came to my Sky Jackson video. She was like, oh, let's cancel all of these supposedly racist people, right? And it's like you don't you don't get people on your side by doxing them and threatening your life. You educate them, because a lot of the time, if somebody hates something, sometimes it's ignorance. It really, really is. So, can you actually, if you think about cancel culture, imagine it in real life, right? These Twitter morons going up to a person in real life saying, I know what you did 4 years ago, 8 years ago, 12 years ago. I know what you said. Remember that joke you said at the bowling alley? Yeah, now your mom's fired from her job. Prepare for the death threats because you made a joke. Like, it's really, really disgusting and it's unnecessary. Or even worse, taking cancel culture into real life. I saw you talk to that person over there. That person said this. Now, you are canceled. You're not only did your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your wife, husband, doesn't matter. They all lost their job because you talked to this person. It's so dumb. Like, the whole point of cancel culture has gotten really ridiculous. We've seen people lose their livelihoods, their jobs. They've become worse people because of cancel culture, because they literally were shamed and felt horrible because of it. But instead, if you just, you can have a conversation with somebody and actually teach them, what they're saying is a little bit wrong or a little bit off, or see why you have a difference of opinion. I think that's a lot more useful than this cancel culture. But let's talk about Jameela, because she's the worst hypocrite. Almost as bad as Io and Amber. She's literally gone after people like Iggy Azalea, Cardi B, Kim and Khloe Kardashian. She targets these people like the Kardashians and calls them sad, tells them to fuck off, to kind of further her own brand of wokeness, right? Not to mention Rihanna and everything, she comments on to try to supposedly enlighten them. She is there, just like Io and Amber, for the retweets. There was a big thing when people were using Facetune, right? I think pretty much everyone does that. I think I have maybe about half of my pictures I use filters on, right? So, but if you use Photoshop, Jameela wants to make it illegal. If any female celebrity ever does anything bad, she is the first one to talk about it. Like I said, Cardi B and the Kardashian family, she went at them hard for promoting things like detox teas and appetite suppressants. She also uses, righteous culture. I am, better than you. I am signaling virtue. I hate to be so cliche about it, but that's what it is, right? Like, she tried to say that the Kardashians I'm not even kidding. And I don't like these girls. I just don't know much about them. We're double agents for the patriarchy. And then she went on to say, I know all these celebrities all shit their pants in public the way the poor women who buy this nonsense upon their recommendations do. Right. Okay. It's ridiculous. These people are ridiculous. But at the end of the day, her giving I.O. a platform is not surprising to me. Her giving I.O. a platform is, like I said in the beginning, birds of a feather stick together. They are all garbage. I don't know her stance. I know she did come out and say she's not taking the podcast down because we don't know what happened behind the scenes with Amber and Johnny. It was her way of saying, I'm chicken shit. I don't want to take a side. And that's okay. You don't have to. I'm not saying that. But it's her way of being like, I don't know anything about it. I'm not going to educate myself, which is the whole thing I was talking about when it came to cancel culture. Absolutely ridiculous. And I think at some point, maybe we should start ignoring them, right? Maybe we should start ignoring the idiotic, the moronic, the cancel culture people. So anyways, oh, this is so dumb. We've got Io trying to say everyone's transphobic and Jameela trying to cancel everyone after Amber Heard is literally an abuser. All of these things, they're all one and the same. So anyways, let me know what you guys think about this podcast. I will put the link to it in the pinned comment so you can check it out for yourself. But I promise you, you're not missing much. I learned a little bit about Io and that's about it. I didn't learn sympathy for him. I can be mildly sympathetic, but what he's done, there's no excuse for it. So, anyways, let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey guys, I want to give a huge shout out to my Patreon and subscribe stars. You guys literally make this channel possible. Huge thank you to Cage the Mick, Robert Mick Twiz, Black Knight Fool, Brucey, Chris Z, David L, David Rafford, Jeffrey Allen Carnes, Mighty Balls, Mike Buckner, Maizen Barbosa, Ruskar, Ryan Decker, Robert Hoffman, and Doc Holliday. You guys are absolutely amazing, and thank you so much for all your support. Don't forget on the way out to like as always if you enjoy the content and hit subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.